Everybody, and welcome back to more political chatter. In this video, we will be talking about the 2023 Kentucky Republican primary for governor. So, first of all, in 2023, on election day, there will be 3 gubernatorial elections, those being in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Kentucky. Kentucky, along with Mississippi, are considered to be competitive races. So, the incumbent governor is a Democrat. Andy Beshear is, I believe, the most popular Democratic governor in America. And even though Kentucky is such a red state, that really shows you something about Beshear's popularity. And just sidebar, I do believe that Andy Beshear will win the general election, really against any Republican at this point, saying that he is the most popular Democratic governor in the country. That really means something, and people will cross party lines for him. But saying that this is a competitive race, of course, the Republican primary, where there is no incumbent, it really does matter. Of course, Andy Beshear will cruise to victory in the Democratic primary, but in the Republican primary, it's very important because they need or should put up someone who they believe can beat Andy Beshear in the general election. So for a very long time, really since the beginning, I always thought Daniel Cameron, the Attorney General, the current Attorney General, which was the position that Beshear held before he became governor, well, I always thought that Daniel Cameron was almost the presumptive nominee. I really thought that he would easily win this nomination, that the party was uniting behind him, but in the recent weeks, that has not been the case. I knew that there were other candidates in this race, but I did not know the strength that they had, and the shrunken lead that Daniel Cameron has in this Republican primary race. In this Republican primary, we have, of course, Daniel Cameron in the race, and then we have, some other notable figures. Kelly Craft right now is Daniel Cameron's main opponent. She was the ambassador to the UN under Trump. And then Mike Harmon, I don't know how much support he has, but I won't go through all of them. But Ryan Quarles, the Commissioner of Agriculture, is also a contender in this race. We'll get to endorsements and everything, but looking at polling, I mean, the last poll, I don't know why nobody is polling this race, but the last poll was taken on April 10th. Okay, so this is like a month ago. And look at this. Daniel Cameron, he only has a lead of 6 points over Kelly Craft. It needs to be said how Daniel Cameron not only has a 6-point lead over Kelly Craft, but how Daniel Cameron has only 30% of the vote right now. Only 30% in April. And his lead has probably shrunk since then, and we'll get to all this. But in April, early April, he only had not even a third of Republican primary voters. So that should be an area of concern for Daniel Cameron, his polling alone. Kelly Craft was at 24%, a great showing for her, almost a quarter of the vote. Ryan Quarles was at 15%. And then we have that huge block of undecided voters. That is 21%. So he has maintained his lead. But this is important. In June of 2022, so a while ago, this was when it was looking like Daniel Cameron was the presumptive nominee. He had almost half of the party. He was at 46%. Kelly Craft was at 3%. Then comes January of 2023. Daniel Cameron still has a large lead, but it has shrunk. And you know whose percentage has gone up? Kelly Craft. She now has 8%. In later January, nearing the end of the month, Daniel Cameron's still at 39%, but look who rises 5 points, Kelly Craft. And now, as we're approaching April, once again, the trend has continued. Daniel Cameron's vote share has gone down. He's at 30%. Kelly Craft has amazingly gone up 11% in the polls. She is at 24%. So if this trend continues, Cameron going down, Kraft going up, at this rate, saying that we haven't had polling since April 10th, then it should be virtually tied, or Kelly Kraft should have the lead right now, if this trend was continuing. We should definitely get more polling in this race. That's definitely necessary. And when even is the primary? I don't even know. But anyway, as I was saying, Daniel Cameron, for whatever reason, has been going down. And I think that it is largely due to not Daniel Cameron becoming weaker of a candidate, if that makes sense, but Kelly Kraft becoming stronger, having more money, running more ads, running a better campaign. And that, I think, ultimately is resulting in a lot of Cameron's voters going to her side instead. And let's take a look at fundraising to furthermore prove that Daniel Cameron's campaign is, going in a downhill spiral. So let's look at money raised. These guys. Corals has $1 million. Daniel Cameron has raised $1.3 million. Kelly Kraft has raised $8.5 million. How insane is that? Do we realize what that means, people? And, Kelly Kraft has raised $7.2 million more than Daniel Cameron has. That is absurd. These PACs, political action committees, super PACs, they want Kelly Kraft as the nominee. They are not dumping their money to the Cameron campaign. They are giving it to Kelly Kraft. And Andy Beshear, the governor, has been running ads talking about the massive amount of money that Kelly Kraft has raised. What does that mean? Andy Beshear is thinking that Kelly Kraft is going to be the nominee. He's not running ads saying how much Daniel Cameron has raised or that he's polling above everyone else in this race. But he is talking about the fact that Kelly Kraft has raised so much more money, and that just proves that he, not necessarily fearful, but that he thinks Kelly Kraft will be the GOP nominee and that, he could get some early attacks on her now. Looking at money spent, you can just see why Kelly Kraft has been rising in the polls, because she has spent $8.1 million, while Daniel Cameron has spent not even $800,000. That's insane. Cash on hand, Kelly Kraft doesn't have much either, but nor does Daniel Cameron. At this point in time, Ryan Corals, who has spent, virtually nothing, does have $903,000. So Kelly Kraft is demolishing Daniel Cameron when it comes to campaign finance. Okay, that is insane. Andy Beshear knows that, as I said. Polling is going downhill for Daniel Cameron, as I talked about before. Endorsements, this is notable very much. All Daniel Cameron has is Donald Trump. That's why he was the major contender in the first place, because he had that Trump endorsement. But looking at Kelly Kraft, she doesn't really have any, major endorsements. Obviously Donald Trump is so major. Really, Ted Cruz is not a major endorsement. It's not like that his endorsement will shake up the race. This is a Kentucky primary, not Texas. But it's apparent that Donald Trump's endorsement does not mean as much now. So, the primary is soon. I don't know the exact date. I guess, is it tomorrow? It might be tomorrow, actually. But if not, then it's next week. It would be very interesting if it's tomorrow. That would be cool. But anyway, my prediction, obviously it will be Daniel Cameron or Kelly Kraft. And just because I always keep my predictions the safe, common consensus, I would think that Daniel Cameron wins by a point over Kelly Kraft. It will be incredibly close, But I would think that the odds are in Cameron's favor. I mean, just because he did, it's not like he's behind in polls, and that Trump endorsement means a lot. So thank you all for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That would help out a lot. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you on next time.